Hello YouTube. We are joined today for a special interview. Today we're joined by Barbara. What's your last name? Sorry?
Nichols.
Nichols. Barbara Nichols, sorry. And we're here to find out who Barbara is and let you guys know who she is as well. So we're just going to ask a few questions. The first one I want to ask is why did you choose the People's Party of Canada?
Well, Stephen, the thing for me was that my husband and I were so discouraged with the direction that politics was taking in Canada that we were ready to uproot and go to Central America. Warmer climate, but also just actually more stable government down there in some ways.
As long as you don't go to Venezuela.
Well, no. We're thinking more like Costa Rica, right?
That's very good, yeah.
But anyhow, and then I started listening to Max back in November, and I just gradually was just pulling me in because I thought, well, this is really amazing. I mean, if we could really have these kind of platforms, this could really happen in our country. Well, okay, give it another try.
Yeah, no, and that definitely would pull people in for sure.
So I've never been in politics. I have a background in special education. I've been in business coaching. I've worked for World Vision. I've done a whole lot of different things, mostly in the educational field and mostly doing things where I'm mentoring and doing advocating, and I think skills that work really well as an MP.
Yeah.
I suspect. Lots of negotiation.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I looked at it and I thought, there's just so many things in the platforms that just seem sensible and reasonable and like constitutional.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like a really, really good fit.
That's one thing I was saying to a friend yesterday is it seems like it's so much just common sense.
Yeah, no, it is. And the other thing that really appealed to me was that years ago I was a little involved with the Reform Alliance movement. And when we actually met at NISCU, I asked Max that, and 80% of our platforms are the same.
Yeah.
And they're good. They worked. I mean, they created an amazing movement before, and they're doing it now.
Yeah.
For sure.
So then I guess next question, why Maxime? Why do you support him? What is it about that guy?
Well, again, bearing in mind, I think that he epitomizes what PPC is all about. And I love the foundations that we have with respect. I think that Max, from what I've seen and meeting him and everything, that he does epitomize that. He's very respectful. I really think he does believe in fairness to everybody. I think it's amazing how he basically looks at special interest groups and in 30 seconds says, hey, look, that's no identity politics here. We're done. Move on. I love it. That was another thing that really did appeal to me. And the whole idea of personal responsibility and having smaller governments, and the idea, okay, business can take care of business, NGOs can take care of NGOs, government needs to be sorted out into the two constitutional elements with provincial and federal. It's like a no-brainer, So that aspect, and of course now most recently, it's been freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So it really has been a driving force for me is that in my life, my goal has been to help people to think for themselves. So I've taught academic skills, I've taught intellectual skills, I've taught writing, reading, things for freedom of expression, freedom of purpose.
Now you're trying to teach politics and get the people to think for themselves when it comes to politics.
Precisely, yes, you got it.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So you're the representative or the candidate for the Edmonton Griesbach riding.
Right.
What do you feel that you and the People's Party brings for the community of Edmonton Griesbach?
I think specifically what I'm hearing in talking to people on the street and on the door and even, with Twitter and stuff somewhat too, what I'm hearing really loudly and clearly are two issues. One is healthcare, and that is specifically for baby boomers. Mm-hmm. And I think so much of the demographic we're looking at in this area are baby boomers. And the second one has to do with millennials having children. It's those two age groups, I think. And in both cases, it's let's get more money put back in our pockets. Griesbach is a very depressed area in many aspects, parts of it. And I see a lot of inequality there, things that really aren't being dealt with fairly, fiscally. And as I said in my own report, my own candidate speech, I'm here for fiscal accountability
Mm-hmm.
and restraint, as well as I really think that we want to support a culture of life. There's enough death around us. And so what I see and what I hear in Griesbach, and I'm excited by it, is I hear people that haven't given up. I hear people that are feeling like they're close to giving up. And so I think that I can bring back that whole aspect of hope
Mm-hmm.
and connection. I think there's more than enough isolation in our communities, and one of the things I like about Griesbach is I see areas that are really connected. And I think there's a possibility of bringing that whole overall community connection. With Griesbach, I think that I certainly, because again, I'm shrewd. I'm a budget person. I've seen recession in Alberta. I grew up in a professional class, middle class. But you know what? I have 5 kids, and we've had our own businesses. We've watched them collapse. You know, that story, right?
You've lived in Alberta.
I lived in
It's
Alberta.
basically what it is.
I'm a 4th generation Albertan, and I've watched ups and downs.
Yeah.
Right? And I know what we're capable. I know where we can go. And I know I've seen communities pull together before. And I'm sure that Edmonton Griesbach can do that with, hopefully, my direction.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So then I guess tell everyone about something a little bit about yourself, maybe.
Okay, well, I've kind of been saying that. I suppose the best thing I can say is I'm 4th generation Albertan. I have been most of my life very proud to be a Canadian. I think you can tell Mr. Trudeau that we do have a core identity.
Yes.
There's no question. And I don't think most people are interested in being globalists. I think they very much want to be. We want to see restoration. We want to see, and again, we have restoration, and we're refreshing, and we're offering something that's fresh and new and revived.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that with PPC, we have that opportunity to, as I like to say, take our country back and make Canada Canadian again.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, how they can reach out to you, and any final words?
Yeah, I guess the way you can get hold of me is my Twitter handle is BN4PPC. My email is also BN4PPC@gmail.com. Our website is ppc-yeg-griesbach, GRIESBACH.ca. And yeah, you can reach me through any of those means. Preferably, also, if you work with me, I have opportunities. I'd be happy to text back. I find texting is a really great way of communicating.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who actually, I've been calling our membership list, and a lot of people say the same too.
Yeah. It's
quick text and
yeah. And there's so much you can do with texting now.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'll put all of Barbara's information in the description below as well, so you guys can reach out to her and find her that way as well.
Yeah, and I guess in closing, what I really want to say is that I think we need to focus on People's Party rather than PPC, because what's happening is it's almost like PPC, UCP, this P, that. Right?
Yeah. There's so many acronyms.
But we are the People's Party. Most of us have no political experience, so bear with us. We're all on a learning curve together, and I think that we can make tremendous changes to our government. What I like to say is why the present government is railroading us.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally railroading us.
Yeah.
Forget the pipeline. We got tankers on cars, right?
Yeah.
But I think the thing is that they are railroading us. It doesn't matter if you choose CN or CPR. You've got 2 parties. They're on the same track, and they're taking us out and away from our country and who and what we as Canadians want to be. 5% of the population right now are dictating to the rest of us Canadians. And we're basically, Stephen, we're being exploited.
Yeah.
We're exploited for taxes. We're being neglected. We are. We're neglected. We're ignored. And in many cases now,
especially if you're in Alberta.
Yeah. And with the lack of free speech, we're also right now being abused.
Yeah.
And so, PPC, strong and free.
The People's Party is going to change it.
Let's say it together.
People's Party of Canada
Rocks.
Have a good day.
You too.